Have you ever wondered if walls could really fall down just by making noise? Well, get ready for an incredible true story from the Bible that shows exactly that. Long ago, God's people were finally ready to enter the land He had promised them. But there was just one problem. A massive city called Jericho stood in their way. This wasn't just any city. Jericho had huge walls so thick that people actually built houses on top of them. Joshua, the brave leader of God's people, knew they needed to capture Jericho. But how could they get past those giant walls? That's when God gave Joshua the most unusual battle plan ever. God told Joshua, "Have your soldiers march around the city once a day for 6 days. 7 priests should carry trumpets made from ram's horns and walk ahead of the Ark of the Covenant. On the 7th day, march around the city 7 times. Then have the priests blow their trumpets as loud as they can and tell all the people to shout." Now, this probably seemed like a pretty strange way to fight a battle. There were no weapons, no ladders to climb the walls, and no battering rams to break down the gates, just walking, trumpets, and shouting. But Joshua trusted God completely and did exactly what he said. For 6 days, the Israelite army marched around Jericho in complete silence. The people inside the city probably thought they were crazy. Can you imagine how hard it was to stay quiet for so long? But God's people followed His instructions perfectly. Then came day 7. The army got up early and started marching. 1 time around, 2 times, 3 times, all the way to 7 times. Then the priests lifted their trumpets and blew with all their might. The whole army shouted as loud as they could, and guess what happened? Crash! The mighty walls of Jericho came tumbling down. Just like that, the strongest walls anyone had ever seen fell flat to the ground. God's power had done what seemed impossible. The Israelites captured the city, just as God had promised. But there's one more important part to the story. Remember Rahab? She was a woman living in Jericho who had helped God's people earlier. Because of her faith, God made sure she and her family were saved when the walls fell down. This amazing story teaches us that God can do incredible things when we trust and obey Him. Even when His instructions seem unusual, God always has a perfect plan. The walls of Jericho remind us that nothing is too hard for God, not even the biggest obstacles in our lives. So next time you face a big challenge, remember the Battle of Jericho. Trust God, follow His directions, and watch Him do amazing things.